I've been working on some projects, and I might share a little bit of it about you, to you rather. I'm sorry, the middle of the night again. And I got up in the middle of the night, and I don't want to do what I did yesterday and mix two testimonies together, because one was about my belly, the hole in my belly in 2012, and the other one was about uh, me being 75 and open heart surgery. Those are two different things. And I ran them for some reason together, and that's okay because I'm a human being and I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be. And they weren't harmful mistakes. Uh, Here I am yawning. But I do want to share something with you. Okay? I'm going to begin to buy books, uh, get a publishing company, and buy some books by bulk. And what I intend to do, and I don't know how long it's going to take me or when it does, it just depends on how it goes monetarily. I want to buy books by bulk, and I want to uh, get everything ready to sell books from my home. Only these books are going to be just a wee bit different because when you request a book, it will have a signed signature, and maybe some even will have a prophecy in it for your life. But that those books will make them different than anybody else's so that people can't take them and resell them online because that's what they're doing. They're selling them for much more than what they're worth, and I won't cheat you. Um, I will need to have enough money to continue the flow of uh, sending them out because it'll take money to mail them, and so I'm just letting you know ahead of time that I am hoping to use this avenue to build up where I can get more books published, and I won't be going with the publishers that I already have had. All right. Some people, they just automatically think God is dead. They're never going to have to answer. I have never seen anybody in my life who has ever cheated me or tried to take anything from me that God did not intervene. How he intervenes, well, I have no idea. I won't, I'm not even asking for it. If money is gone, it is gone. I'm not going to concern myself about it. What I'm going to concern myself about is how to go from here, how to uh, promote my books. So I have somebody that is very good and knows me very well and knows my how I think and feel about things, and I'm going to have them go on the internet and I'm going to have them read what the Lord leads them to read out of the book. And I might have a conversation with them, and I don't know, there might be an open conversation to talk. We haven't decided that yet. But I have a young man, and I say he's young because he's old enough to be my son. And he's the same exact age as my daughter would have been. Anyway, he has come to my house with me and my husband, has had dinner with us, and we had agreed that I wanted him to take my book on a YouTube channel and read it. Okay, and I wanted him to be able to give out, you know, uh, sell my book, uh, and and give out my address for it. So that is one thing I have in the fire, and I know that it it will come about. Nothing will stop it because those books have great teaching in them. And I have asked people that if you bought a book to please send in a review because those reviews are very important. And like I said, I don't know how many 5-star reviews I have on there, but it's a lot. And but there is very few people compared to how many books I know that were sold ever bothered to write a review, which I don't hold that against anybody. I mean, even Jesus, whenever somebody was healed, there wasn't very many come back and said thank you because a review is a thank you. But I won't be any longer selling my book through Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or anywhere. I'm just going to simply find out how I can stop all that and sell it through a different publisher. So God's going to help me. He always has, and He's never failed me. And I have many other books that I intend to write and to get published, but that takes money. Believe me, I'm asking you, don't you dare send me a penny. I told you if you even have one child and you are not made of money and not rich, don't take that money and give it to me. Please. If you are well to do and you have money, that's fine. I'll say thank you. But if you don't and you have to sacrifice for your baby. I don't care if your baby's 50. Let them know they're loved on their birthday or some special day to you. And take that and use it for them. Like I said, put my name on it and say, this is from Marion, you see. But outside of that, don't. Please don't give me money because I'm not, even now, I'm not asking you for money. For God does supply my needs. He will make a way for me. And I am not afraid to tell you about my project because I don't care who hears it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You won't be able to stop God. God's going to have His will and His way. And you can trash it, you can do whatever you want, but you will only hurt yourself. Because I didn't write those books when God came down on me, and He wrote those books for me. Not a word of it is my opinion or my thoughts. That's why I go through telling you that I actually dedicated my whole life and went through years of being able to hear God's voice so that it could just flow even now. It wasn't something that was done with me overnight. It was something that took quite a few years. And I was held back by God for 40 years that I could not give out what God was giving me, that I could not do what I'm doing now. And even then, when I tried to do it my way, I went for 2 years trying to find a way to get on YouTube to do videos until somebody came to my house and showed me that I could do it by computer instead of by camera and SD cards. So all of that, I still have all of those, but all of that is really wasted. But that's okay because those, you don't forget what God gives you. It just flows. It comes back out of you. This is pretty much like a little bit of personal message today. You know, I put out some messages that I had told you just recently that I didn't want to put them out because I was concerned that there were people there who I know love me, who would think it was for them, and who would misunderstand what was going on. And I was concerned about that because uh, now I'm thinking that I haven't heard from them for a long time, and I'm thinking something may be wrong. I'm concerned about them because I love them, and I'm praying that, maybe something happened. I don't know. Uh, it's been a long time since I've heard from them, and Hey, if they want to go 20 years and not talk to me, when we pick up that phone after 20 years, it's going to be same old, same old. It's not going to be any different. It doesn't matter because I love them just the same. And there is nothing in me that rebukes them or finds fault with them. And so, but that's why I said there were messages I gave up out were for other people because not just one person left me in my life. Um, but God is even bringing back some older ones that I haven't seen in a long, long time. And so I've been very blessed there. But this is a season is coming up for me that's going to be very different than what my seasons have been. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but I know that it's going to be very different for me. And I know that there are certain projects and things that are going to happen. And like I said, I don't need anybody's money. I don't need anything. God supplies all of my needs. But I want you to know that if you do buy any books, I will do my best to give you a good price and do my best to sign a signature. And so you'll have personal books signed by me with a personal, perhaps prophecy in it for your life. So the things that you've been seeking and wanting, you just may get whenever you would buy a book. Okay? And some books I just might give away. So anyway, enough about the books because there's going to be new books coming out because I am switching publishers. I'm going to stop people making money on me and me not getting a penny, and by publishing through somewhere else. And it'll happen because God's never failed me yet. And I'll leave everything else in the hands of God like I always do. I talked to somebody on the phone today because, if you call me like wrong number, you don't get away with not hearing about Jesus Christ. If you call me by accident, you don't get away without hearing. If you're a perfect stranger and you leave me a mailbox, a mail voicemail, I still hit that number to get you back so that I can testify to you. I don't like to let anybody pass through my life that I don't contact. Now, there are some times that I can't do that. So don't take it personal. I don't want anybody to take anything personal where I'm concerned. Whether you have been close to me or far away from me, please don't take anything personal that I say or do. Unless you've personally talked to me over the phone or by Gmail, don't take anything personal. And even if I cannot get to all of you, which it may be difficult, I don't know. But even if I can't get to all of you, I will do my best to try to get to some of you. Because I might wind up having people help me sell the books. And all I would have to do is sign them and put your name on it where they would address it to you. Because when you contact me to request it, you have to send me your name and address so that I can send it to you, or you send me a check and it'll have it on there. So either way, we'll figure that all out when we come to it. But I'm just letting people know that this day is going to come for me. And when it comes, I will contact everybody through a video and let you know it's happening. It's here. And I will even give you the name of the person who's going to have a channel that is going to actually sit down and read wherever in that book the Lord leads him. If the Lord leads him to read uh, chapter by chapter and help you understand what God is saying in that book and let the Holy Spirit work, this young man is very anointed. Uh, before I ever met him, and when I met him, we both knew he was of God and he knew I was. He was already established in the Lord, where he did not need me to help him through anything. The only thing he needed was that fellowship, and uh, and it's turned out to be just like having a son. So I had another young man that I'd worked with. I don't know if he still listens to my videos, but I had been so busy I could not contact him. He had gotten his license to preach, which I think is very good, but that is not where I'm going. And because it's not where I'm going, I have to busy myself with where I'm going. So it's not personal again. Whether I love somebody or don't love somebody, or that doesn't even come into the picture because I care for them all. So I think I'm probably done with this video. It's not very long, and so much right now is happening, and it's happening very fast. When things come about and God intervenes in your life, understand it happens quickly. If you're not ready, you can be overwhelmed. You can be overpowered by circumstances and situations. So pray now that you be ready. Pray ahead of time. This afternoon I have been praying for hospitals, for people who go into the hospital, and whether it's your mother, father, child, or whatever, that you know how to pray, that everything be saturated with the Holy Spirit, and no one can make one mistake with a misdiagnosis or anything like that with a child of God, that God's holy angels be there. Because that's all of these testimonies about what I went through are to lead and guide you to understand how to believe God for you, how to believe God in every way for you, whether it's for your child or whatever. But it's also to help you that when you do have to face losing a loved one, you understand how to face it. Because you don't want, if God wants to take someone that you love, He'll warn you ahead of time. If you're close to Him, you'll hear Him, and you won't be afraid. Because if it's God speaking to you, if it brings great fear, then that's not God talking to you. Some people have said, well, they had dreams of dying, okay, or someone else in the dream died. Like I said, it could have meant death to the flesh. You have no idea. Or maybe their feelings inside died, or their heart inside for something died. Death doesn't necessarily mean going and passing through from this life. I know of a young man that somebody called me that they had said that they had a dream that this man died. This young boy, he was a young boy. Well, the young boy, he lived to be almost 60 before he passed away. So, you know, and I knew that it meant that God wanted him to die to self. So don't be afraid. Don't allow yourself to be knocked off. Like I said, when tragedy strikes, circumstances and situations happen to everybody. It's part of life. But what people do with it is sometimes they blame God. They literally, it's like I was ministering to somebody, and they had a business. And all around them in that business, they know that people were lying and cheating and stealing and they were prospering in it. They were honest in their work. They had integrity. They're doing it right before God. And they were never selling anything that all these others around them were selling. And the young man said to me, well, it was pretty hard to watch them be blessed. Well, if you steal, you're not being blessed. It's difficult to watch them be able to steal. But if you're stealing, God's not blessing you. He did not call you to steal. He tells you, you know, uh, there are those whose damnation is just because they think, let us do evil that good may come. And you are seeing that across this nation. People doing evil so good may come to them alone. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. How much they can get out of everything. How much money they could get for their book. How much they don't care about reaching souls. They'll write a book and then try to fit their life into that book and make things happen the way they claimed it should happen, all the while claiming God told them to do that. God don't operate like that. God does not operate in giving you a prophecy and have you go and work that prophecy into being, especially when it causes harm to people. God is not with that. And I have seen many times where people who are Christians know and see God's not there, and eventually you will see God intervene. When it comes to any kind of sin, any kind of sin that goes against the Word of God, and I'm not talking about whether you go to this church or go to that church or doctor. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about sin like adultery, fornication, drunkenness, fighting, all of this stuff. I'm talking about those sins. When it comes to that, and you as a Christian support it, you become partakers of their evil deeds. And when God comes to deal with them, He's going to come to deal with you also, because He will intervene. He tells you in His Word, will I not visit this sin? He told you, He gave you an example in the Old Testament. He gave you a warning in the New Testament that the wrath of God and tribulation is upon every soul that doeth evil. So if you know someone is doing evil and you say, well, just because of the color of their skin, whether they're white or whatever, just because of that, they should be allowed to get away with murder. That's insane. That is never God. But you have these so-called quote and unquote reverends teaching this. You have them claiming God is with them. If you can't recognize a false prophet when you tell them that when you hear them tell you that it is okay to sin and that God is with you and He caused you to sin, they should take a good look in the Word in James. In James it says clearly God will never tempt you with sin. He cannot look upon sin. He has nothing to do with sin. He even tells you that you're not even tempted by the devil. You are tempted by the lust of your own heart. Whatever is in the flesh in your heart, in your evil imagination, is the thing that tempts you. And that's what makes dying to self so important. Because that is the undoing of your soul. I have said it before, I will say it again, that it is your worst enemy could be yourself. Your worst enemy could be the evil of your own imagination, your own memories guiding you into revenge, into justice is not revenge. Justice is something God does. Revenge is something you do. Revenge is something that you pick up and claim it's your cross. And you go and you kill, you covet, you destroy, and it's all in the name of your needs, or your ethnic group needs it. It's all in the name of some cause. Well, crusaders have been doing that for ages, killing and starting wars, all in the name of Christianity, all in the name of whatever religion you want to pick. That's what's been going on for the ages. And that is a generational curse that only God can break when that's in your life. And like I said, not everybody is eligible to go before God and break it. You could have millions of people listen to you. And when you think you're breaking generational curses and asking God to break them, when you think you have learned something, I told you, when you call on God the Father and you've got sin in your life, and you think that it's going to be okay if you call him for someone else, it doesn't work that way. You've opened a door for him to plainly see everything. Now, not that he doesn't see it anyway, but the angels have jobs. They report to him back and forth, and he tells you in the word where he will say that he will visit to see if what he heard is true. He will send the angels just like he sent them to Sodom and Gomorrah. And what did he do before they destroyed it? He wanted to warn Abraham. He That's what God did. And he tells you to be hospitable to strangers because you never know if you're entertaining an angel. So I've been blessed. I've met people that God used as angels. I have this house because a precious, beautiful woman of God became an angel of God for a season to do what was needed to be done. My hopes are one day I can give every penny back. That maybe perhaps I can make enough money on my books eventually. I don't know. Because there's people all over the world buying my books. I mean, they're sending me pictures and they're showing me from different countries that they bought it even in their countries. And they bought it off of Amazon. But I know there's better ways to sell it if I get another publisher. And I don't need these people. They want, if I've always figured this, when somebody steals off of me, okay, if they need money that bad, hey, maybe, just maybe, one of those books, if they read it, can save their soul. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe if they sold it for $25 instead of $13, the way it's supposed to be, maybe a soul would get saved. Who knows? I don't know. So I'm not going to condemn the one that does resell it. Although I think that, and I believe, well, now, here's what I'm telling you. God didn't tell me this, because if he did, I'd have never said, I think. Listen to what I'm telling you. When you hear me say, I think, that's my opinion. But when you hear me say, God gave me this message, that is God. And I think that some of these things I need to just leave alone, and God will show me what to do. So, God bless all of you in leading you into all truth, into getting your life where God wants it to be.